Hello dear students, a very good morning to one and all and welcome back to the class. So in the last lecture you have studied about the electromagnetic waves, what are the properties of electromagnetic waves and what are the characteristics of the electromagnetic waves. Also I told you how did they discovered. So I told you one name, that was the Maxwell. There were two other names that we cannot forget in this research field, in the discovery of the electromagnetic waves, that is our very brilliant scientist Hertz and Marconi. So these are two scientists who worked tremendously well on this topic to find the wavelength, frequency, speed of the electromagnetic wave. Let me tell you, our scientist Hertz had did one thing. He produced the electromagnetic wave, he then transmitted the electromagnetic wave to the space and received it back, and this how he measured the wavelength and frequency of the electromagnetic wave. And this is how he said that after doing such experiments he concluded, he gave us some inferences, and that was that in electromagnetic wave is similar to the speed of light and similar to the light. So it was something that was given by scientist Hertz, and Marconi also did some experiments, and through that experiments he have concluded with the wavelength of the electromagnetic wave. So these are two scientists that we cannot forget in this chapter. So in the last lecture I told you about the energy density, the average electric energy density and the average magnetic energy density. In this lecture we are going to cover this topic, that is electromagnetic spectrum, but before proceeding to the topic I would like you all to take a recap of what we have covered in the previous class. So in the last class I remember I ended up the lecture by telling you all the properties of electromagnetic waves. So firstly I will be dealing with the, you can say, the schematic diagram of the propagation of electromagnetic wave, and then I will show you what is the equation of electromagnetic wave. I told you that the electromagnetic wave propagates perpendicular to the electric field and the magnetic field. So if I draw the diagram, okay, so let me just tell you from here only. This is how we can show the propagation of electromagnetic wave. Say this is the direction of propagation of EM wave, this is Z axis, okay, this is your X axis, this is your Y axis. So see, this is your electric field, this is your magnetic field, and this will be your magnetic field, this will be your electric field, because it is going like this. So similarly if I will be making another loop, that will show your electric field and the lower one will show the magnetic field. So this how we can draw the diagram of EM wave propagation. Your EM wave will propagate perpendicular to both the electric field and the magnetic field. Now if I want to write the equation, which will be minus omega t. Similarly for B, that means for magnetic field, this should be V naught sine kz minus omega t. Now see, here the value of k is nothing but 2 pi upon lambda. Okay. This is the equation of these two things, because you can easily see this is nothing but a sine wave. So we have written the electric field in the sine wave form and the magnetic field in the sine wave form. So we are having these two equations, and here k is nothing but your wave factor, which will be having the value of 2 pi by lambda. Now you can see that when the speed of this EM wave was measured, it was said that the speed of EM wave is omega upon k. It was found to be omega by k, or you can write from here that omega equals to k into c. So here a relation that you can write in another terms also, and you can write it as, because you know that omega equals to 2 pi into frequency. So you are going to put this value, and in place of k we will be putting 2 pi by lambda. So our equation will become 2 pi into nu equals to 2 pi upon lambda into c. So you can say again a relation is coming out to be nu equals to c by lambda, that we already know. Okay, so this is how we have correlated the angular frequency with this value of k. Okay, now there is one thing that I want to tell you about the energy and momentum. This is the important thing that you have to understand, because lastly I also told you in the previous class, the average electric energy density. I think last time I only wrote average electric field density. So make it a correction that it is not the electric field density, it is the electric energy density. So when you are going to find it as, so you can say energy density is represented by UE for electrical, and it is half epsilon naught into E square, right? Now before telling you all about this particular thing, I would like you to ask a question. Can you tell me, do this EM wave have the energy and momentum? What do you think? Is it having the energy and momentum? So the answer will be yes. This EM wave will be having both the energy and momentum. As the light travels, similarly the EM wave travels. So when they travels, it transports the energy, and that energy can be found out in the terms of momentum also. This is the average electric energy density, which is represented as U equals to half epsilon naught E square. Whereas if I talk about the magnetic energy density, this is all that we have covered in the previous class, but just a summary of that. So this is nothing but UV equals to B square mu naught into 2, or B square upon 2 mu naught. This is your average magnetic energy density. Now see, the energy is conserved when the wave is transferring or traveling. So we can say the electric energy density and the magnetic energy density should be equal. So UE should be equals to UB. So in place of B, you can put E square also. So the equation will remain same. UE will be equals to UB, that you have to remember, and that might be used in your numericals if you will be having the questions. Okay. So this thing you have seen. Now I was telling you previously here that this is nothing but omega equals to C equals to omega upon K. Also you know that we write the speed of light, we write the speed of EM wave as C equals to 1 upon under root mu naught epsilon naught, isn't it? So here your mu naught is nothing but absolute permeability, which have the value equals to 1.275 Tesla meter per ampere. Okay. Similarly, this one, that is epsilon naught, this is nothing but absolute permittivity. Whose value is 8.8. I forgot one thing. This is 1.275 into 10 raised to the power minus 6. And this is 8.8 into 10 raised to the power minus 12 Newton. I forgot what is the unit, SI unit of this absolute permittivity. So you can make a correction, you can check and you can do it by own. What is the SI unit or what is the unit of absolute permittivity? Okay. But add one more thing, 1.275 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 it is. Okay. So this we have learnt. In the initial 10 minutes, we have covered the previous lecture summary. Now in the coming 20 minutes, I am going to tell you what do we mean by the electromagnetic spectrum, because we have learnt so many things about the EM wave. Yeah, one thing left is momentum. As you have seen the energies related to the EM wave. Similarly, if the energy is there, momentum is there. Further, if I want to tell you, momentum, if present anywhere, it will exert some pressure. If you are having the momentum, P equals to m into V. So it will show some pressure. For example, if I talk about the sunlight is showing the EM wave. The EM wave is coming from the sunlight. So if the sunlight is falling on your hand, are you feeling any pressure? Why? Are you feeling any pressure? If the answer is no, my question would be why. So let me give you the answer of this question, and the answer is for example, if the total energy transferred is U, by EM wave is equals to U, then the momentum will be equals to U upon C. Momentum is denoted by P, so it is P equals to U upon C, where C is nothing but the speed of light. Now see, when the momentum is present, definitely there would be a pressure related with this, or you can say associated with this EM wave. So pressure associated with EM wave is called as the radiation pressure. This term you have to remember, this is called radiation pressure. Now the question that I asked you just now, if the sunlight is falling on your hand, sunlight is nothing but a source of EM wave. So if EM wave is falling on your hand, why don't you feel any pressure? Because it is having energy, so it must be having the pressure. So the reason is because the speed of light is very much higher, which is nothing but 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. If speed of light is this much, there is an inverse relation between momentum and speed of light. So if C is greater, momentum will be less. So if momentum is less, the pressure will be less. So that is why this is the reason why don't you feel any pressure when sunlight is falling on your hand. And similarly, if pressure is there, energy is there, you can find out the force. Pressure equals to force upon area. So if you know the pressure, you can find out the force that the sunlight will be applying on our hand, on our body. This force is very much smaller, that is why we don't feel any pressure, any force due to the sunlight. Okay, this is it. Now we are going to start the electromagnetic spectrum. See, electromagnetic spectrum is the orderly arrangement of the waves, the frequencies, the wavelength of the EM radiation. So you can say It is nothing but the spectrum is the orderly arrangement of EM waves. So let me just tell you, there are types of EM waves. EM waves are number of types. So firstly we are going to see the radio waves. Secondly, microwaves. And I am going to tell you one short trick to remember this spectrum, because I know this spectrum is very important and this spectrum is covered in number of exams. Now you are a class 12 student, but when you are going for a competitive exam, you are going to see the question related to this spectrum definitely. Okay, so microwaves, infrared waves, visible rays, in place of waves you can write the rays also. Rays, these are the rays that is comprising the whole EM spectrum. The fifth one is infrared, or infrared I have written, so that must be UV rays, that is ultraviolet rays. Now X-rays and gamma rays. So this we are going to cover in this lecture. What are the types of wave, what is the role of these waves in our environment, in our life, and what are the characteristics of these waves. And further I am going to tell you about the spectrum. So let us start one by one learning about this radio waves. I am not going to tell you about the frequency and wavelength of this wave, because we are going to cover that in the spectrum part. So firstly, what are the radio waves and how they are generated? So radio waves are generated by the oscillating electric field. So the generation cause is oscillating electric field or electric charges, you can say. Microwaves, again the origin is same, but okay, firstly deal with radio waves. The origin is oscillating electric field. When the electric field will be oscillating, radio waves will be generated. What are the uses of radio waves? That you are very much familiar with. In FM, in TV transmission, you are going to use the radio waves. Furthermore, if I tell you, if you speak on the phone call, your voice is being transferred to another person who is sitting in another city or another country. That will be the help of radio wave communication. Okay. Secondly, if I further talk about radio waves, they are used in number of purposes. In your medical purpose, it is also used, and the properties is that it is showing the it is obeying the reflection and refraction laws. Okay, secondly, microwaves. Microwaves is again the generation is same, that is oscillating electric field. But what are the uses? I know everybody would be having nowadays microwave at their home. So the microwave is the box in which microwaves are used to prepare your food or to make your food reheat I should say. So this is why, okay, so the microwaves are the waves which is used for heating purposes, for cooking purposes, and for radar system also, and to navigate your air navigation, to navigate your aircraft, the navigation purpose, this microwave is used. So see, the microwave is only used in the airspace navigation, aircraft navigation, because the microwaves are those waves which do not get deflected when there is any obstacle on their path. So that is why microwaves are used. Now thirdly, okay, uses I tell you, origination I tell you, and the infrared waves. Infrared waves are generated due to the source of heat. So it comes from any hot body. So if I talk about the sun, which is the best example of heat, So sun is the good source of infrared waves. Now see, if I speak about the uses of infrared waves, in TV, you are having a remote in your hand. You are changing the channel. The channel is being changed because the infrared wave is monitoring. You are changing the channel. You must have seen that within a remote there is a space from which a sensor is placed. That sensor is used to connect with your TV. That is why you are able to change the channel and you can see the channel of your own wish. So in the TV remotes, this IR wave is used. Further, this IR wave is used in when you are having a foggy area, the smoggy areas. This IR waves are used to take the photographs. Why? Because the wavelength is higher. So it is used to take the photographs when there is smog. Now the next one, the visible waves. See, the visible waves are those waves, only waves which you can see with your eyes. Let's start talking about this. This is a yellow chalk in my hand. This yellow chalk is, how can I say this is yellow in color? Because all the frequencies are being absorbed and only the yellow color frequency is getting deflected. This chalk that I am having in my hand is red in color. You can see this red color. Why this is red in color? Because all the frequencies are getting absorbed, only the frequency which is corresponding to the red color will be shown to you. That is why this is the reason. And you know, I must tell you, this question was asked to me when I was in 8th standard by the principal of my school. So at that time I didn't knew the answer of this question, and I went to my science teacher and asked him that, sir, what should be the reason? I mean, this is red in color, I know this is red in color, but is there any reason behind it? So he told me, then he cleared this concept behind me, why this is red in color, why every color is being shown in different color. So if I talk about the visible spectrum, this is composed of 7 colors that we are having VIBGYOR. So this is VIBGYOR, VIBGYOR. This is violet color, this is indigo, this is blue, this is green, this is yellow, this is orange, and this is red. Okay, so these are 7 colors which we can see with our eyes. Otherwise, you are not able to see these kind of rays. You will only see the visible rays. Okay, so these are 7 in color, VIBGYOR. In your rainbow, when there is a rainy season, when the rain is coming opposite to the sun, you can see the rainbow, and the rainbow is composed of these 7 colors that we call in short as VIBGYOR. Okay, so this you have to remember, this is a short form of VIBGYOR. Okay, now UV rays. Acha, okay, one reason why visible rays are visible, yeah, that I told you, but how they are originating? These are being originated by the emission or the absorption. When the electron is coming from any higher energy level to the lower energy level, so it will emit a photon, and due to this the thing becomes visible to us. We can see the visible rays. When this will come back, it will release a photon and it will show a visible ray. Okay, UV rays. Now see, UV rays are the ultraviolet rays which are, you can say, originated from the sun. This is a harmful rays for our body. If I talk about the upper UV rays or the lower UV rays, or you can say the higher UV rays and the lower UV rays. So these are the rays which is harmful for our body, because these are the rays which causes cancer. When you are having a ozone layer on the stratosphere, we are having an atmosphere, we are having a stratosphere layer. Above the stratosphere layer, we are having an ozone layer. What we are having? Ozone layer. And this ozone layer prevents us from the UV rays because it absorbs all the UV rays. But what are the uses of UV rays? Again, this is used in many areas, you can say. So there will be many use of UV rays that you will see and study. If I talk about the X-ray, this is again originated by the fast moving electron being striked over any metal surface. So it is being originated, X-ray is being originated by fast moving electron. When a fast moving electron strikes an atom surface or strikes a metal surface, so at that time X-rays are produced. Now X-rays are produced which are used for diagnosis, which are used to penetrate through any body, which are used in medical purposes. So this is the rays which you are familiar with, and you can study about more and more uses in your books, in your the Google Baba. Now last one, gamma rays. The gamma rays are the waves which are having higher frequency, and this ray is originated by the nuclei of some radioactive substances. So if I talk about the gamma ray, it originates from the nuclei of some radioactive substances. So these are the rays which are having number of uses and which are having different origins. So we have learnt about all these waves. Now it's time to learn about the spectrum. To make the spectrum, I should remove all this and start doing with the new clear board. So just take a note, and then I'll start by making a table before you and by telling you a short trick how you can remember electromagnetic spectrum, that means their wavelength and frequencies. Okay, so I have rubbed the board and I have prepared a table for you of electromagnetic spectrum, where you have seen the wavelength is increasing from right to left and frequency is being increasing from left to right. So frequency is increasing from left to right and wavelength is increasing from right to left. Now see, this is the table that I have made you. It is a trick to remember. I have written all the waves, the name of waves before you, and to remember I have made a mnemonic for you that you have to remember. See, gamma rays, X-ray, UV, visible, IR, microwave, radio waves. Now there is a trick, that is rummy works good. Okay, this is a, you can say, statement that you have to remember. Rummy works good. Here R stands for radio waves, which I'll be denoting by R. M is for microwave. I is for infrared wave. Works means visible, U, X. Works. I am denoting a mnemonic for this works. So works is V, U, X. Good. Gamma is denoting by gamma rays, which we write as GAMMA, like this. So gamma is, this is gamma ray, or you can write this as G ray, that is gamma ray. Okay. So you have to remember this trick, that rummy works good. And over here you have to remember one thing, the wavelength will be increasing like this, the frequency will be increasing like this, and the wavelength will be increasing like this. So if frequency is increasing, you can easily tell that gamma rays will be having the maximum frequency and the lower wavelength, least wavelength, and the radio waves, this will be having the least frequency but the highest wavelength. So come to me this side. Here you can see I have written the wavelength which is ranging from 4 to -1, -3, -7, -7, -8, -11, -14. There is one more thing how you can remember this, and this is see, I have written this is for gamma. Now see, radio waves is 10 raised to the power 4 to 10 raised to the power -1. And similarly, microwave is -1 to 10 raised to the power -3. See, this term will come here. And now similarly, 10 raised to the power -3 will come here. So the infrared range will be 10 raised to the power -3 to 10 raised to the power -7. Now visible range. Visible range is 4 into 10 raised to the power -7 to 8 into 10 raised to the power -7. So -7 will come here. 4 into 10 raised to the power -7 to 8 into 10 raised to the power -7. That means the range is same. 7 has come. Okay. Now again this 10 raised to the power -7 will go here. So we will be having the range of UV as 10 raised to the power -7 to 10 raised to the power -8. Okay. Now similarly 8 will go up. So the range will become 10 raised to the power -8 to 10 raised to the power -11. Similarly 11 will go upward and the range will become 10 raised to the power -11 to 10 raised to the power -14. See, this word, the one you have to remember, this will go up and the range will remain in the same. So this is how you can remember this. This is the easiest way to make you remember. You have started written the Rummy works good. Rummy works good. This is how you have written this, and in this manner you have started writing the range of wavelength, and this wavelength is in meter. Okay, so you cannot forget that the range is in meter. And similarly I have written the frequencies. Now correspondingly you can tell them what is the frequency. If somebody is asking you which of the following rays will be having the higher frequency, you have remembered this thing and you can tell easily that the gamma ray will be having the higher frequency and the radio wave will be having the higher wavelength. Or you can say, I should make the arrow like this. The range I am writing, which is -1 to 4, -3 to -1, -10 to -3, -7 to -7, -8 to -7, -11 to -8, and then -14 to -11. This is how you are going to remember, and this will be easier for you to understand. So that's it for today. We are going to discuss some questions related to this chapter in the next session. So just take care. Thanks a lot.